In the news, Ondo killings, Governor Akeredolu cancels Democracy Day celebration. Equatorial Guinea Vice President threatens to expel French ambassador. Tiger Woods joins LeBron Jordan on Forbes billionaire athletes. Details coming up shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Rose Audu and this is TOS News 360. Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has cancelled this year's Democracy Day celebration in the state in honor of those who lost their lives during terrorist attack on worshippers at St. Francis Catholic Church Owo on Sunday. Akeredolu announced this in a series of tweets on his Twitter handle on Saturday, saying the cancellation was to allow Ondo people mourn the deceased. One person was killed on Friday night, while 3 others were injured when gunmen opened fire in Kuru community, just south local government area of Plateau State. It was gathered that all the victims were students of a boarding school within the locality. The affected students were said to have gone to charge their phones at the filling station close to the school when the gunmen opened fire on them, killing 1 on the spot while 2 others sustained injuries. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike on Friday swore in 3 new commissioners, including an Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, whom he gave the charge to probe and prosecute his predecessor, Rotimi Akeredolu, for the alleged disappearance of $50 million from the state's coffers during his administration. According to Wike, there is a need for the people of Rivers State and the rest of the world to know what actually happened to a sum of $50 million from the illegal sale of some states' assets. To bring you stories across Africa, a Sudanese pro-democracy group met with the country's ruling army on Friday. For the first time since the military coup last October, civilians were represented by members of the Forces of Freedom and Change, an alliance which combines several political parties and militants. Rwanda's Ministry of Defense says DR Congo fired 2 rockets into the western part of its country on Friday, causing no casualties, but terrifying the population at the border. In its statement, the ministry says it is the third of such attacks since March. Tensions between the 2 Central African countries have been on the rise, as Kinshasa accuses its neighbor of backing M23 rebels, sending this week 500 soldiers in eastern DRC, something Rwanda denies. DRC's national army has been fighting against M23 insurgents, considered a terrorist group in eastern Congo for a decade, and violent clashes have been occurring since May. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and you're watching TOS News 360. More of African stories, global and sports when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching TOS News 360. Equatorial Guinea's Vice President Teodoro Obiang threatened on Friday to expel the French ambassador over a role triggered by a corruption case in Paris. A top French court last year upheld a 3-year suspended term against Obiang over property bought in France, with funds suspected to have come from plundered state assets. The decision opened the way to confiscating property in Paris' top-end Avenue Foch, a 3,000 square meter mansion worth an estimated 107 million euros that houses Equatorial Guinea's embassy as well as apartments. And the United Kingdom's controversial plan to deport migrants to Rwanda goes ahead despite an emergency bid by NGOs. A British judge rejected on Friday to ground the flight due to take 30 asylum seekers to Rwanda next week. This deportation flight was arranged after an agreement with the East African country's ruling politicians was made last April. On the international scene, Prince Charles has privately described the British government's plans to deport asylum seekers to Rwanda as appalling. Two media reports said as the first flight taking refugees to the East African country is due to leave next week. Charles, heir to the British throne, has been heard criticizing the policy that the Times and Daily Mail newspapers reported. And 4 years after he was arrested in a French village close to the Belgian border, Dino Scala has gone on trial accused of a 30-year series of rapes and sexual assaults. The former caretaker, now aged 61, has already confessed to 40 attacks on girls and women in communities either side of the French border with Belgium. And just before we go in sport, Tiger Woods, a 15-time major golf champion, has joined NBA icons Michael Jordan and LeBron James as athletes with a net worth of $1 billion, Forbes magazine reported on Friday. Woods, making a comeback at age 46 from severe leg injuries suffered in a February 2021 car crash, has made about $1.7 billion in prize money, endorsements, and business deals over his 27-year career, Forbes reported. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African News Network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS TV Network. I am Rose Audu, and many thanks for watching.